Hello everyone, this is Josh from Riscos Wrenches with another video working on my old $1,000 F-150. You guys have seen this thing all over the channel. It's hauled home multiple projects, and finally I'm going to do some more work to it. It has been a minute since we've really messed with this thing. The last time we messed with it, we threw some coils on it and went and got parts for it, but I've got even more parts for it now. Off camera, me and my buddy were going to take it down to pick up another car. It fell through, but we were like, oh, you know what? It's really, really hot. Let's just take a peek at what it's going to take to get the AC going, and it was a pulled fuse. We put a fuse in it and threw Freon in it, and it's just working. So I've lived without air conditioning with this thing for like over a year now, and it was a 10-minute fix. And it's been a week since I've charged it.
It took longer to figure out what fuse it was.
Yeah, it did. We sat there. The fuse diagram on this thing sucks. We sat there arguing for like 20 minutes, and it was like a 2-minute fix. But we recharged it last week. I've used it this whole week because it's been really hot. I just drove it to work with some nice air conditioning, and it hasn't leaked an ounce of pressure in it. It's still got right at 40. So what we're going to do now is we're going to vacuum all of the air out of it. We're going to leave it sit for probably 30 minutes just to make sure it doesn't have any other leaks when we vacuum it. And then after that, we will fill it full of full Freon, and that way there isn't a bunch of air in the system and all that stuff. It's going to cool a little bit better, I hope. Now, this thing was at 0 PSI whenever we first got it working, so that means it does have a leak. We're pretty sure we just found it. It's just a little straighter valve for the low pressure side, so. And it's not leaking that bad. Like, it might be one of those things you have to fill it up like once a year. So we're just going to vacuum, like I said, all the air and everything out of it, fill it full of good fluid. This year is damn near almost over already. We're already getting close to fall. So if it lasts 2 months before I have to refill it again, that's probably all it's ever going to need to, and it's going to be winter by then. Then I bought some nice King Ranch leather seats for it, King Ranch floor mats, and a King Ranch center console. So we're going to put all those in there. We got some leather conditioner for them. We're going to throw those seats in there. We will have to wire up a power lead for the driver's side. And then I can give this thing a good clean out, because I think the very first time when you guys first saw it and we did the first deep clean on it was the last time we've ever cleaned this thing. So it could use a clean out on the inside. And then I might rotate the tires because it's been a while and the back's wearing a little bit different than the front. There's just a few things here and there this thing does need just to make it a really, really good truck. It already is a really, really good truck. Keep in mind, I know I said it in the beginning of this video, but this was a $1,000 F-150. And it has been an absolute amazing truck for me. All right, let's get into it. Let's start on this air conditioning system. All right, my buddy Andrew, that you guys know, he's been in like half of my videos by this point.
It is all air though.
Yeah, it is. Like I said, it's going to do way better with all the air sucked out of it. Well, my buddy's working on this and vacuuming it down and everything. I'm going to pull everything out of the interior so that way I can just go through it and see what I need to leave in the inside. See what I need to leave on the inside of this thing and see what can be taken out. Because there's a bunch of crap in here that I just threw in here. At my old job, I actually worked as an RV technician. Whenever a used one came in, all of us were able to, pick through all the stuff that nobody else, the owners didn't want when they traded it in. And I've got a bunch of random crap in the back of this thing that I never took out. So while he's working on that, I'm going to pull everything out and see what the hell can just be thrown away and what can be put back in.
How does the AC function?
I think Casper shot a load on my, feel this, it's literally wax. Look, I took a chunk of just wax. It literally feels like wax.
Does it taste like nice?
You know, Freak Bob. Is it on fire? It's purple. It's grape flavored. I'm not gonna lie, the whole reason I like this stuff is because of real steel. Do you remember the robot from there that was real steel?
Huh?
The royal purple real steel robot?
No.
Dude, he was so cool. He was purple and he had gold on him. He was the coolest looking robot ever. It was a product placement in that movie. All right, we're letting the vacuum run for like 30 minutes. You're supposed to let them run that long so that way it'll like literally boil the water out of it. While we do that, we're gonna clean off these seats and condition them. Yippee. Before we get too carried away, here's a little before on the interior with these seats and it being all dirty and filthy and everything. I wonder how this stuff tastes.
What?
It says right here, safe for consumption. It says, yum, yum.
I mean, you can get it off of there. Is it recording?
Yeah.
So we found a padlock with key, but can't unlock the padlock. Gotta take all the time in the world to take the key off the key ring. Straight my door. I'm trying not to. I don't have enough room.
Don't die.
And where did this one even come from? I don't think we had any this color.
It's a nice throw. All right, so we got the interior all cleaned out. It's been vacuumed. We put carpet deodorizer on it, let it sit for 10 minutes, and then vacuumed it back out. And we've got the seats pretty much all conditioned to the point that they're pretty much conditioned all they can. I'm going to condition them over the next couple weeks just to clean them up a little bit more, but they look a hell of a lot better. They're significantly less washed out. They're a lot softer. They're not as hard anymore, so I am pretty darn happy. And I don't know if you saw in there, but we have on this side, that's the plug for them. I wired it up to the driver's side. And then on this side, the plug had been cut off and rewired. It looks like, you know, a rat or something got to it on the passenger side, so I just ran a power and a negative wire over here, and we should be good to go. Hey, there's stuff over there. All right, so we got the seats in here. They're wired in. The driver's seat works, all that fun stuff. Passenger seat works apart from the heat, as I have some wiring issues I need to work through. Center console's mounted. It's all fairly soft and all that stuff. We cleaned up the carpet and everything, and then I left a big stain in it because I didn't put the floor mats back in. I do have King Ranch floor mats I will toss in here, but for now, because it's getting late and this took a lot longer than we originally thought, we're gonna load all this crap up in here, and then I'll come back another day and I'll pull all the crap back out of it, sort through it, and then I will clean up the rest of the interior because the rest of this is pretty darn dirty. All right, it's really windy out here, so I don't know how much of this you guys are gonna be able to hear, but off camera I was using this thing to pick up a bunch of other stuff. You know, obviously it's my work truck for picking up everything that I need, and the liftgate stopped working. Upon closer inspection, all the wires leading to the pump and everything like that are pretty darn corroded, so we're just going to pop the cover off this thing and just redo all of the wires in it, because it's probably been like 20 years since they've been put on there. They're full of dust, they're full of dirt, they're full of grime. We're going to clean them all up and make it work again. But down in here, you guys can see it's got a lot of green on these wires. They're not in the best of shape. So we're just gonna, first what we're gonna do is we're going to go to the front of the truck. We're gonna kill power to back here because when I'm working on this, I don't want it to mark out. And then we're gonna pull this whole solenoid and everything apart and clean it up along with everything in here. I'm gonna get a brush out, a vacuum, and just clean up all of this crap because it's very, very dirty in here. I've been tracing wires for a while. I've been following them back. I even went and got a random spare solenoid I had laying around because I couldn't figure out why the hell, no matter what I tested, nothing was working. I cleaned up rat chute wires, everything like that, trying to figure out what the hell was going on, only to keep tracing all the way up to the front of my truck. And I went, you know what? Let me test this breaker box here, because these little breaker things, they're 150 amp breakers. You see them whenever they, do lift gates or anything like that. If something happens and it grounds out, it pops the breaker, and now there's no power flowing to there. It's kind of like, a big fuse. So that way, if, like I said, if the wire, rubs off or something and it grounds out, it won't burn your car down. And I was sitting here testing things with the battery. I'm like, why is this thing not getting any volts? And I reach over here to this wire, which feeds it. And I'm like, let me just look at this wire here. And yeah, I just pulled this out of here. Shoved it back in there. Liftgate works beautifully. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to take this thing apart. I'm going to clean up this wire. I'm going to crimp it in there again correctly. It looks like it was never really crimped to begin with. It just had heat shrink holding it in. So I'll crimp it in there correctly. Then we'll throw this all back together. And I'll cover everything in some dielectric grease. Dielectric grease, if you guys don't know, it keeps things from corroding. It's a little goop you put on there. It keeps water out of it and everything like that. So I'm going to cover this up in dielectric grease. I'm going to cover up the back, everything in dielectric grease. I'm going to clean everything out, and then we'll reassemble it, and then we can move on to the next part of this project. All right, now that we've got the wires cleaned up, the gate's back to working like it should. It goes up and down. Like I said, I cleaned up in here, dielectric grease in there, cleaned up all the connections. I went and looked at this metal without pulling this thing like really far apart. I wasn't able to get this thing super flat, so I'm not really going to worry about that for now. All right, but now that we got basically all the mechanical stuff working the way it should, we got the interior cleaned up, we got the AC working, we got all this good stuff going on, let's move on to the tires. Cast your mind back to a little bit ago when I helped my buddy get another truck just like this one. We got that thing running and driving, we messed around with it, and since then he has put some tires on it. He got a good deal on tires and wheels, and they are on different rims, so thankfully I've got his set of old rims which matched mine because I was missing a couple hubcaps, and more importantly, my spare tire is junk. This thing is completely dry rotted even though it doesn't have any air in it at all. It's not even the right size, it doesn't hold air, it's just a piece of junk. And his tires that came off his old truck, even though they're old and a little bit dry rotted, they hold air just fine and they're the same size. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna swap out my spare tire now, pop on the hubcaps, then we can go rotate these tires, and this old truck is basically gonna be a nice thing again. I mean, it never was not nice, but it's gonna be in a lot better shape now. We're gonna have working air conditioning. We got the interior cleaned up with some new seats that are all nice and conditioned. We got the lift gate working. We got little things here and there done. We got wires run for the power seats, and we're just looking like a lot of a better truck. And now I'm working with just an even better truck than before. This $1,000 F-150 has not disappointed me once. Now, I know some of you guys are gonna ask, why the spare tires here? Well, where the lift gate's at is where the old spare tire used to be. So if you have a lift gate on the back of the truck, most of the time the spare tire has to be relocated. There we go. Spare tire mounted. We can get rid of this old one. Like I said, even flat, this thing has cracks all over it. It's old, it's shedding, it's just junk. We're with the lug nut covers. Look at how fancy the truck's becoming. Magical. We've got hubcaps on all 4 tires now. Yippee. All right, so I'm gonna do the cardinal sin that everybody flames car people for in the comments below. I'm busy, I'm just gonna drive this thing to a shop and pay like 25 bucks to just have the tires rotated. I don't have time, I'm working on a bunch of other projects. Got the Fiero, got the Firebird, I got a motorcycle I bought in there. I don't know if the video on that's gonna be out before or after this, so I'm not gonna spoil it. I've got old arcade cabinets. I'm doing a bunch of stuff. I really don't have time to jack this thing up, change all these tires and everything like that. I'll just bring it to a shop and, like I said, pay like 25, 30 bucks to have the tires rotated. So let's go over what we did. We got the liftgate working back on this thing. We got a full-size spare tire in the back. Yes, I have used it. It's off of its thing. Like I said, I hauled home those motorcycles. I had to move that around. So I've got to put that back at some point. It's probably going to sit back there for like 3 months. You know how that goes. It's not hurting anything. It's going to be out of the way, just like a daily driver. The daily driver really doesn't get worked on until something breaks. We've got hubcaps on all 4 tires. We've got the interior in this thing cleaned out, the AC working, and we've got these sweet King Ranch seats in there. Yes, I know there's a pile of trash in there. Like I said, I'm busy with work, I'm busy with other projects. This is just kind of the daily. All the trash gets piled there, and once a week I just take it to the dumpster and dumps it all out. But the old $1,000 F-150 is better than it ever has been. It's way more comfortable with those seats. It has functional air conditioning, which has been great the last couple weeks when it's been like 95 degrees. And this old girl is almost ready for its second oil change with me. I have driven this thing almost 10,000 miles since I originally bought it, and minus throwing some coils on it because the coils did die, and at some point having to do an intake on it because, like all Ford modulars, that coolant crossover pipe is starting to leak just a little bit. It's not to the point where it's going to cause any issues. I have to throw like a gallon of coolant in it like every month and a half, so it's not to the point where it's going to need fixed right now, but at some point I'm going to have to fix the intake on it. They all do it. I'm going to throw an aluminum intake on this thing. These things deserve it. They don't deserve the crappy plastic intake they came with. They deserve the nice aluminum one that won't warp like this one did. But apart from those 2 minor things, this thing has been an excellent truck for $1,000. You guys have seen how many cars I've hauled home with it. I think it's about 10 or 12 cars I've hauled home with this thing. The longest one away was that yellow Firebird or the old blue Nissan in my backyard. And those were like 3.5 hours each direction. and this thing hauled it no issue. It's got the F250 springs in the back, so that way it really does deal well with the load. And the old 5.4 is a reliable old girl. It might not tow anything super fast, but I've been able to keep 60 miles an hour up hills towing trucks and cars. So for $1,000, I really could not have done any better. This truck is one of my favorite vehicles I've purchased. It's just been so reliable. It's been so consistent. It's never really asked for anything from me, and I cannot thank it enough for that. This truck has been amazing. And like I said, I'm just going to end this video here. We did a bunch to the truck. However, there is still some things that need to be done. Like I said, the intake needs to be done. It needs to have some tire rotations. It probably needs an oil change in the next 1,000 or so miles. So this thing will be back on the channel, but it's probably going to be in the background being a good old work truck, hauling home multiple projects, hauling away all the junk from the projects that I don't want anymore, picking up parts for anything. The liftgate on this thing is such an amazing thing to have. I don't know how I lived without a truck with one. Once you get one of these liftgates, I will tell you, it will spoil you. You will not know how you lived without one. It is such a handy thing to have. But without further ado, like I said, this was Josh Merskes Wrenches working on our $1,000 F-150, making it even more fancy. Fancy seats in there. We got the air conditioning working. We fixed the liftgate. This thing is back to being an amazing daily driver, work hauler, whatever you need. This truck's good for it. It's a good old truck. If you guys like this stuff, let me know down in the comments below. Let me know what you guys want to see next. Do you guys want to see me work on the Fiero, the Firebird, my other red Firebird, which is sitting over there on the other side of the truck? Do you guys want to see the mystery motorcycle I bought? Do you guys want to see the arcade cabinets I bought? Let me know down in the comments below, and I'll do my best to pop those videos out that you guys want to see. While you're down there, if you wouldn't mind, like it if you like it, dislike it if you dislike it, click that subscribe button if you want to be subscribed to the channel. If you want to be notified whenever I upload next, click that notification bell. And without further ado, I hope you guys are having a good day, night, week, whatever it is. I hope you guys are having a great one, and hope to see you guys in the next one. Peace out and goodbye. Want to be the guy that, you know, filmed random children without their consent. That'd probably put me on a watch list somewhere. Yeah, that rear end's not really on there anymore.
Mr. nicknames his private member Lazarus because he has risen from